Welcome to the early stages of life on the road. If you are new here and this is your first time seeing me, hi, my name is Bee, and I'm currently living in this Ford Transit with my partner, 3 cats, and 1 dog. And we just spent the last month building out this entire van. And so let's do a little recap on it because there's some things that are missing from last week's story. On the last night of the build, this is what the van was looking like. It looks absolutely incredible. All of our faces and drawers are inserted. Everything is connected and ready to go. We had some last minute caulking drying in the van, so I cleaned it up, and the next part that I worked on was the foam for the bed extension. Now, my sewing machine just recently broke, so what we're going to be doing here is we are just spraying the foam with some spray adhesive and sticking it together. And once that is done drying, I'm going to go in with some DIY pillowcases and some sheets. I used the pillowcases and just folded them inwards, and then I attached the sheets with some pins that you would use if your clothes were too big, and those will hold just fine until we make some new ones when we get to Texas. Hello friends, I just wanted to tune in really quickly and talk to you guys because the first week or so of van life was absolutely chaotic, and I did my best to capture some clips for you guys and take you guys along the journey with me as best as I could from beginning until now. So I'm just going to be bringing you guys along on my journey so that you can understand what I was feeling in these times. It has been such a crazy journey from beginning to end because for those who don't know, we built this van in a month, maybe less. And now we are packing it up, getting it on the road, and going to start traveling in it. And there is a lot that I could not capture on tape, so I hope that this does my first week of van life justice, and I hope you guys enjoy. Move-in day is finally here, but before we start moving in, I'm actually going to go out to lunch with my father because I don't get to see my family very often, and I'm about to be away from them for all holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So to make up for lost time, my father and I went out on this delicious little adventure right before I had to pack up my life and move into the van. Now that I'm here in the van, I'm like, oh wait, I should have definitely made the bed first, but since I already have some things in here, I think I'm gonna put my pajamas and stuff in here. So I have my sweatpants and then all of my tops right here. And then right here, underwear, socks. I might change things up, but before I do anything else, I'm going to make this bed. While I was making the bed, the boys came in and alerted me at the time urgency that they wanted to leave before midnight, and so now I was racing against the clock and just trying to pile in as many things into the van as I could. I washed and dried so many things, including Indy's bedding, so I just had to throw that in there. I made the bed, loaded in all of our clothes, and before I knew it, we were hitting the road and driving out of Florida. Like I said before, I've been dreaming about this van life experience for as long as I can remember, and I definitely did not imagine my move-in to be as swift and as quick and as rushed as it was. But either way, I'm so grateful for the builders, the boys, and I'm so grateful that I am finally able to live out my van life journey and my van life dream. It was so exciting, and our first night, we drove as far as Louisiana, and then we spent the night at a Cracker Barrel. When I woke up the next morning, I totally forgot that today was Thanksgiving. So I just kind of eased myself into the day. I spent some time hanging out with Magnolia, which I always try and hang out with my animals first thing in the morning. And I also had let Indy go out and use the restroom. So I was just taking a little breather before I decided to head into the Cracker Barrel myself. I was actually fully anticipating on getting myself a Cracker Barrel breakfast just because Cracker Barrel is a very nostalgic place for myself. So I wanted to get myself some breakfast before I realized that it was Thanksgiving, and it was a total madhouse. So I literally went in and then immediately came back to the Vans to relax because there was no way I was going to get food there. Jesse hung out with us for a little bit, but then he did end up leaving because he wanted to have Thanksgiving dinner with his family, and Alan and I were completely exhausted, so we just spent the whole entire day in the back of the Cracker Barrel relaxing and resting. But once the sun was setting, we did decide to get the van situated and get ready to get on the road.
Hello.
We got on the road, but then we quickly took a little pit stop and got some Arby's because we were starving, and we realized that we slept all day and hadn't really eaten anything just because we don't have a lot of stuff in the van. So we hit two birds with one stone with an Arby's and a Love's. And then we finished out the rest of the drive to Jesse's sister's house, and I was kind of wanting to see what it was like riding in the back. I also was so exhausted and wanted to continue napping. So I laid in the back of the van, and of course, some of the girls sit back here all the time because the window and the Max Air fan being open creates a really nice breeze that they love to enjoy. So I just laid back here and checked out the cool Texas city lights. And tomorrow we have a super fun morning planned, so I'll see you then. Grand Rising. Today we woke up and decided that we actually wanted a proper meal. So we went to the Flying Biscuit Cafe, and when I tell you I got the most delicious breakfast, this was a video that they let me take, but everyone decided that they wanted a bite of it. And this is, I kid you not, 3 minutes later. Demolished. So good. I highly recommend visiting the Flying Biscuit Cafe. It's so cute and it was so delicious. We also knew that we needed to get an oil change before we left, but instead we did it after driving a bunch of miles, but it's better late than never. We spent the day just running a bunch of errands for the van, getting an oil change and doing some other things before we ended up driving up north because we are going to be visiting some friends that are about a couple hours north of us, close to Dallas, and we are going to be going to a rave with them. So I will see you tomorrow morning with the homies. Happy day 3 of van life. Today I woke up in a neighborhood that was right around the corner from my bestie's house. She let me shower and she even gave me this adorable matching jacket to her. Then we went out for a delicious lunch at the Wild Cactus. I absolutely love the way that things are all kind of Western and Southern vibes on here. It's very, very cute. We ended up getting some delicious margaritas. I got a raspberry margarita, and then we also got some very cheap and delicious tacos. Once we were fed and happy, we went and found a parking spot in downtown just so that we could pregame a little bit before we headed to the venue. This is where we parked the van, and it's the first time that we've ever left the van in a city, so I was a little bit scared and terrified, but it did have a cute mural, and there were some people that were just doing a photo shoot and hanging out around there. So it gave me confidence that it was kind of a safe place. We scootered all the way to this venue, which was kind of cold, but it was also so fun. The rave was at Factory in Deep Ellum, which is someplace in Texas. It was really cool because we got to see some artists that we really enjoy. Cappuccino is a artist that I have watched grow for the past year, and I love watching him. And then of course Cyclops is great, and then Wooly. I was so excited for Wooly because I feel like I haven't seen a really good Wooly show since we were in Denver when I saw him perform right before Millennium, and he was just absolutely incredible. It was such a good rave, and I got to do it with some friends, and it was literally like the first week of van life. We're already hitting raves. Are you kidding me? What what a life experience. Okay, thank you so much for listening to my little EDM moment. But the next day, I spent the whole day just hanging out with some friends. They made me breakfast in the morning. We played Mario Kart. We relaxed all day. And then by the end of the day, it was time to pack up. We stopped to get some gas. And then we headed out to Jesse's mom's house. Sometime during our recent travels, we stopped at Joann Fabric and grabbed this amazing piece of fabric, and it was so expensive. We did get 3 yards of it, but luckily we had as much as we needed. We measured out all of the pieces, and Jesse even made some trims where it was a little bit excess and it needed to be trimmed down anyways. I am extremely grateful for Jesse and his mom because she was able to help us cut out all the pieces. She sewed them together. We ran to Walmart and got some zippers as well. And then Jesse's stepdad had this fabric gun so that we could staple the fabric to the piece that is going to be the back chair piece. And we finished that along with the bed extension. And then the next day we finished and worked out the last 2 pieces of furniture. And then after some time spent there, we jumped back on the road and we started making our way north towards Colorado. We still have a couple more updates that we need to work on in the van, but for now it is feeling a lot more whole and complete with our cushions completely finished. So as you can tell, this week was super chaotic, and when we left, we made sure that we stopped at a place with some delicious food. I am dating a total foodie, and he absolutely loves to taste and try new things. Definitely be sure to like and subscribe because we are going to be going and traveling all over the West Coast, starting in Colorado. I didn't feel as if it was appropriate to film in Jesse's family's houses and my friends' houses, so that's why this vlog looks the way it does. Plus, we were just rapidly moving everywhere while also adjusting to life living in a van. It has been so exciting, and there is still so much more to come, so I will see you guys on the next episode where we will be kicking off our journeys in the beautiful state of colorful Colorado.